Hey guys, welcome back to my day 3 keto update. What's happening here and why am I in front of my shoes? It's Sunday, so it is laundry, homework, and fix yourself day. I even tried to be a little extra for y'all and put on some lipstick. But I have so much stuff to do today that there was just absolutely no way I was gonna have time to like get all cute. And I have a Olaplex treatment in my hair, and that I forgot I have this thing on. And then of course this beautiful face mask, which is a charcoal face mask. And I live and die by these things. I love them. They hurt like a mother when you pull off, but they are so worth it. I have just sort of kind of made this commitment to myself that like, hey, I'm not doing keto as part of a group or part of a community. So one of the reasons why I'm doing the updates is because I feel like it will help me to be accountable. And plus, so many of my friends are already watching this, and people that, follow me on social media, and they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see kind of what happens. So it's more important to me to kind of just get on camera and like, sorry guys, this is my life. This is me on Sundays. This is how I look for a good amount of the day. So there you go. You're going to have to deal with this situation. But yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is it's just more important to me to be just kind of who I am and get on camera and just give you the information than to be tripping about, if I look perfect that day. This is not a beauty channel, y'all. I wanted to go through real quickly what I changed yesterday, because in the first 2 days I was kind of eating the way that I used to eat, which was like 5 to 7 meals a day. I think I was eating 5 meals a day. And then yesterday I switched to 3 meals a day. It was really more like 2 because I counted that bulletproof coffee as my first meal, which I had around like 8. And then I had a very big meal around 1, and then again at about 6:30. And that definitely changed, I think, my energy level and certainly my awareness of how hungry I was. So just gobs of energy yesterday. Like it was ridiculous. It was off the charts. And then I was very, very hungry, like right between, I think, noon and 1. And my daughter had a sleepover last night. So I was like, praise the Lord, because it was keeping me very distracted. But then right around 1 o'clock, I sat down and I had this really big meal. And I'm going to film a what I eat in a day video next week. So don't forget to stay tuned for that. And then around 6:30, I had, again, a pretty large meal. But the weirdest thing happened at the 6:30 meal. This is going to sound crazy to say that you could only eat 2 meals. I couldn't finish it. I literally could not force all that food down. And I think it's probably because my body's used to eating like smaller meals. But I will say this, after I ate that meal, which probably 20% of it kind of went in the trash, and the 20% part was carbs from vegetables, but still, I would never throw the protein or the fat part away because you need that. But I was very shocked that I couldn't get through that meal. And I wasn't hungry the rest of the night. I was completely shocked. And then, and I'll talk about this in my day 4 update, but today is actually the top of day 4. I expected to get up and be super hungry, but I wasn't. So it's just so weird when you play with your body, like how your body responds differently. It's why it's so important to track what you do and, of course, just keep trying different things. So in all of my update videos, I try to give you a really quick like summary update. And again, I took the supplements and I did the electrolyte drink that I talked about in my keto day 2 video. And that's what I wanted to tackle today, because somebody asked me about macros. They're like, everybody's macros. And here's the thing. With any diet, and I despise that word, but any way of eating, any particular way of eating, macros are more important to me than how you eat. Because if you don't understand your macros, first off, it's not going to be sustainable. And second off, you're probably not going to reach your goals, because the average person, and I was the average person until a couple years ago, I didn't know anything about macros. I never tracked anything. I just ate what I considered to be moderate or normal portions. And I was so off base. Like you just cannot believe the amount of fat or calories or sugar in certain things until you track it. And then you're just like, no, get away from me. So going back to the macros, I wanted to give like a very quick explanation about what macros are. And guys, there are a gazillion people you can watch on YouTube about if you need the science about macros, okay? But if you're starting keto or even just learning about macros, you don't need a book report. Let me give you the short version, okay? There's 3 things: fats, carbs, and proteins. And every diet, lifestyle, however you want to call it, focuses on basically burning one of those as its main source of fuel. So you'll see like bodybuilding, for example, high levels of protein, right? High carb diets, carb. Most diets operate under the, burning carbs for fuel. That's where most ways of eating, especially the standard American diet and keto, are different, because keto is all about burning fat. And I don't know why I didn't come to keto sooner. The keto diet is like, hey, we're just gonna go straight to burning fat. So it kind of makes more sense now that I understand the way that it works. It's not like, hey, let's load up on carbs, and then once we burn through that, let's hope to burn into, to burn the fat. This is like, hey, just kidding. Let's stop using carbs as an energy source, and let's move over to using fats as a primary source of fuel for the body, which just makes so much more sense to me. May not make sense to you, but the macros portion, you can train like a beast in the gym and you can eat as clean as you want to eat. I mean, I'm talking about you can overdose on carbs just by eating fruits and vegetables, for sure. So if you're really, now, I think, maybe trying to get deep into macros in that first week or 2 week may be overwhelming. Macros has been a part of my life for a minute. So I don't, it's not challenging to me. And I know that I will hit my goals faster if I'm tracking my macros. So I use an app, and I'm going to include that in my video for tomorrow for day 4 update, because there are some really cool features on this one. And I had never heard of this. I'd always used MyFitnessPal, and I actually way prefer this other app. I love MyFitnessPal, but for keto, I love this other app. So stay tuned for tomorrow if you want to see that. It's a great app, and it has this one resource for working out that blew my mind. So ketogenic diet is focused on having more fats than anything else. So the ratios, and I don't know them exactly, but it would be like, let's say 75% fat, 20-ish% protein, and 5% carbs. And those carbs should be coming from something really clean, like cabbage, asparagus, broccoli, something like that. Very dense green. And guys, you can look up on the internet, what is low carb vegetable. You can skip fruit because that stuff is just loaded with carbs. And then, same thing for proteins. You want to keep it super lean, right? Like lean cuts of salmon, or at least as clean as you can possibly keep it. And then with fats, we're not talking about, hey, let me go to Wendy's and hit up, a bag of fries, because yeah, you'll get the fat, but there are loads of carbs too. So the fats in the keto diet are really focused on like coconut oil, olive oil, butter, MCT oil, good clean fats that your body knows exactly what to do with, because it is used to processing them. And I'll, touch on that in future videos, but that's it. That's what macros are. So you have to track your macros, because otherwise, you might only be eating 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, but unless you're a nutritionist, there's just no way to eyeball it until you start tracking it. And then I would say after 6 months to a year, you have a pretty clean idea of like, oh, I know roughly how many carbs, roughly how many protein, and approximately how much fat. And there's just no way to succeed on this diet, or basically any other, in my opinion, if you choose to call it a diet. If you know what your macros are and you log them in an app, there is almost no possibility that you will not succeed. It's almost impossible. So if you want to learn what your macros are on a keto diet, and I'll put a link below to the free calculator that I used, you just, you want to type in like keto calculator or whatever, and it'll give you, based on your height, age, body weight, and movement, how much you move around in the day. It'll tell you, here's what you need to eat. I mean, it's not rocket science. You don't need to hire a trainer or somebody to prep your meals for you. If nutrition and fitness are going to be a part of your life, that's something you have to learn it. It's just like driving a car. You need to know how to drive on the highway and on the streets, and you need to know how to do all of that for yourself. So what was I going to say? I was talking about the keto. I was going to tell you my macros. So my macros right now are roughly like 1,550 calories, 124 grams of fat, 100 grams of protein, and 20 grams of carbs. So I'm starting at a very low carb ratio, because I don't fancy carbs anyway. I never really have that like them. So for me, that's an easy 86. I mean, unless we're talking about like chips or French fries, but you're not going to be eating that if you're trying to lose weight anyway. So I want to push my body into ketosis or a ketogenic state as quickly as possible. and reducing the number of carbs so that my body can burn through stored carbs so that it can move into ketosis more quickly. So I hope if you had questions about macros, that's just kind of like the 101, you know, and maybe I didn't even explain it fully, but you know, just for easy, okay? A carb, anything like oranges, asparagus, broccoli, chips, French fries, carbs, okay? Proteins, salmon, eggs, cottage cheese, that also has a lot of carbs in it. Those kinds of things. Protein, fat, olive oil, MCT oil, coconut oil, butter, all those things are fat. Good healthy fats. There's loads of other fats too, like what do you call that stuff? Vegetable oil? No. But so you need to learn what foods are in what groups first off, and then once you have that, and it's super easy, guys. You just learn it one time. It's not like the food groups are, it's not like the food is going to jump between food groups. No, it's going to stay where it is. So once you've committed it to memory, you're good to go. Then all you have to do is kind of dial in like, hey, I was eating 20 grams of carbs and this, and I didn't move, you know, or, you know, maybe your body needs more carbs or maybe it needs less carbs. And there's no way for you to know that unless you're tracking it, which is why that app is so important. So anyways, guys, that is it for day 3. And then I will see you tomorrow in day 4. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to follow me on this journey, again, I'm going to do daily updates. Just go ahead and click subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notified when I post new videos. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.